Breaker 19. I thank you for joining the Petty Ass Link and Reggie podcast. This is what we do all day, every day, especially on Thursdays.
Thursdays.
Yes, we got Goons Talk tonight, y'all. Goons Talk. You know what it stands for. Giving our own narrative sincerely. Oh, we got a good panel on there tonight. We got a thug that he just won't let go. He won't leave it alone. He just as hard as it comes. Then we got the motherfucking Ace Boon Coon, the law specialist. We got the law specialist on here tonight. Let me not tell y'all, don't do this. Don't do this to me now. All right. So let me start off the show by saying, rest in peace, Reggie Curl. My slain soldier, my co-host. Rest in peace, man. And I'm gonna keep your memory alive, man. I'm not gonna let it die. Every chance we get, we're gonna speak your name. And we're gonna let people know that we want a fair investigation. Because you ain't get a fair investigation right now. They was making sure they got a fair investigation on us. In Baltimore, when we got charged, they got all that gang of time. They ain't wait for no 5 or 6 months talking about it's still under investigation. You know what I mean? We ain't talking about, we just talking about we want closure. We want closure because we can't do street justice like we would do here, Baltimore bullies. Yeah, we would have street justice, but we can't go by those rules any longer. We got to do it politically correct. So shout out to Reggie, man, and we're gonna keep it moving. Now I want my panel to introduce themselves. Could you introduce yourself to the masses, panel? Somebody go first.
Feet Dog, Park Heights.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Whoa.
You got Tony Wolf here, always seeking justice.
Always seeking justice.
Welcome.
All right. So moderator, are you going to say something or are you just going to sit back and chill?
I'm just going to sit back and chill. I can't wait to listen.
Okay.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Lump and Reggie Petty Ass podcast. Y'all already know Lump, so y'all don't got to get to know him, but I'm going to get to know y'all tonight. And I'm looking forward to listening to what y'all got to say.
Yes. All right, we're going to start off with the big bad wolf. The big bad wolf. Let's go. Drop some jewels on them for the people that needs to know and be informed about that just because your loved one had life in prison or the youth that's coming into prison, what kind of hope is it for them, Wolf?
So I'll speak on my own story. When I first came through the system in 91, I was charged with first degree murder and I was sentenced to life with no parole. So I told myself and I told my family that I'm not gonna do this bit. I'm gonna get this time back. So everybody thought I was crazy. But if people remember when I was in the system, I don't know if Feet Dog remember this, but everybody used to say, "What's up, Wolf?" I'd be like, "Getting out of jail." "What's up, Wolf?" Working on my case. And that's all I spoke. And people thought I was crazy. So when I say that to those who watching the show tonight, is that you gotta always say, I'm not gonna accept what the system gave me. Your family member who's in right now, don't give up on them. Lump, Petty Ass Lump, Feet Dog, we was just discussing about how we were once in the system and how we were supported by the women, right? Yeah. So when I women, y'all soldiers. I always give a props up to the women, because whenever we had family days, whenever you go down on a visit, you see 99.99% of women kicking them doors down. And when I came home, and I can get into a little bit about my case, I had a Brady violation when I had 5 pieces of Brady that they withheld in my case to show that I wasn't the one that committed the murder. But when I came home, I started helping guys out that was in the system. And so a lot of the women or the parents or the wives or the husbands, they would come to me and they was like, Mr. Wolf, do my son got hope? Do my husband got hope? Do my boyfriend got hope? And I said, you looking at hope. And they like, what you mean? I said, I had life with no parole plus 20 years for a murder. I'm sitting out here now working on cases, getting people home out of prison. And they was like, what? I said, that's my story. That's why I'm out here so hard, going so hard for those in behind the wall. Because I know I was a victim of the system. Even and I go so far, when I started my business was the Great Injustice Paralegal Consultant Services. We tipped the scales for the innocent and wrongfully convicted. And the reason I added wrongly convicted to that, because although a person may have not been actually innocent, he might not have received proper representation. His lawyer probably didn't go question a witness that could have brought about a different outcome in his case. The lawyer probably didn't bring a piece of evidence in that could have lessened the charges that he was convicted or she was convicted of. And so I look through trial transcripts and I done talked to hundreds of witnesses throughout the years. And there's a lot of cases that I ain't gonna discuss on here that these guys are home right now. Some of them got $1 million settlements and y'all don't even know that because I didn't say nothing about it. But I helped those guys and I was the ones that went and talked to the witnesses and got those individuals to come back and exonerate those guys. But it is what it is. So that's why I like what we're doing tonight, is basically showing that no matter what sentence your loved one received, your friend, don't give up on.
Right. Tay, can you go to the Instagram and send the traffic? Send me something so I could pin and let the traffic go to the YouTube page, because I got a lot of people coming on there like Mama Miss Michelle. Michelle, I'm gonna fuck y'all name up when y'all come here and Instagram, and I tell y'all to go to the YouTube page. But I'm gonna be nice today because we diving into some real stuff for our loved ones, our black fellow soldiers. We got a lot of stuff that make y'all absorb it like sponges. We got to give it to y'all. We got to give it to y'all tonight. We have a gentleman that he the hardest gentleman in the prison system. Can you give me a little taste of yourself, Pete Doug?
Excuse me for 1 second. Before I go on to Instagram real quick, I want to give a shout out to Miss Dre, who has joined. She said, hey, Cash, she's listening, Lump, and she's eating seafood. Okay. I wanted to make sure we acknowledge her. All right.
Yeah, Dre, thank you. Yes. But we had a lot of people on Instagram. I need to direct them to the so we can hear their comments on here as well. And that way we can tell it to our panel, y'all comments, and how we can help you, the youth, your children, your cousin, any loved ones you have, woman, girl, men and children. We help everyone. We got a program to help everyone. So Peter, come on. He's now in the can I say you're in the feds right now?
Yes,
You
sir.
fed material. You fed material. We talking to a fed baby right now. So introduce yourself, sir.
Yeah, this Pete Doug, man, from Park Heights. You know what I mean? I would say never give up on your loved ones, because even if they did convict a crime, you still have an opportunity to get out. I mean, I caught 95 years when I was 20. I did what they said they did, but they wrongly convict me by using the wrong jury instructions. It took me 22 years to get out after that, but I still got out. Had I not got out, I'd still be in the system. My release date would have been 2046 from that 95 years. So never give up hope. I always said that I was going to get that time back. And I did give it back on jury instructions. You got to learn the law. When you set out to do crimes, you got to learn the law that you committing them crimes for. And then you'll have a better understanding what you're doing. It took me 13 years to wake up and start reading the law before I gave that time back. I got out and I still didn't learn my lessons. and court federal time. I did 9 and some change on the feds, and I'm still on federal custody right now. I'm on the box, but I'm home once again.
Right.
This I believe I learned my lesson, man. I don't have no time in me.
Oh,
I would never give out on your loved ones, regardless of what they done. If they were wrongly convicted or convicted right, you still can give back that time. You just gotta hold fast, read the law, and understand it to the best of your ability, and hopefully get a good lawyer that can assist them to getting that time back. You know,
right.
I did crime. I'm not gonna sit up there and tell you I didn't do it. I did it. They gave me 95 years, man, and I got out after doing 23. I got out. I gave it back when I had 18, and I still had to do four more years before I got out. But you can't never say never. Even if they got friends out here, Avon. I got a whole lot of friends out here that got life plus money. They out. You know, they got to 8505, 8507. They got all kinds of programs that's helping these guys get out of prison from these life sentences. You just gotta help your loved one get out, man. That's all. You know, you gotta stay fast and hold faith with this. The justice system is all messed up right now, but also open up a lot of avenues for these guys to get out right now too, federal and state. You got help in the feds too to get out. You know, you just gotta hold fast and try to help them the best way possible.
Yeah. So Wolf, you hear this? He's saying that you got a lot of help that's presented to people in the feds too. Because we when we think about the feds, we think about, boy, you're gonna do 95% of that motherfucking time. Ain't nobody, and when they get you, they got you. So you ain't gonna get no daylight. But I got a friend that came home from life from the feds, got daylight. Shout out to Lamont. We just went to a extravagant event that he had for his 60th. It was unbelievable. Shout out to him. He's home from the feds from a life sentence. So it is. It's hope. It's hope. And we're gonna continue. Go ahead, Wolf. It's your time.
So I want to segue into what Feet Dog was just talking about, so I can explain and break down some things. So Feet Dog did time in the feds. Now, because when I was studying and learning the law, I learned constitutional law first. So in the feds, the Feet Dog, I don't know if Feet Dog remember this, when the COVID came about, they started doing what they call compassionate release, right? Absolutely. And they was doing what, you know what I'm talking about, Feet Dog?
That's when you're sick, right?
Yeah.
Well, they was doing it for
have damage or anything that falls like an illness or something where though compassionate relief was concerned. But basically with that, you had to have a non-violent crime.
Okay, so you bringing that to them. So that's what it was about. So most of the cases that I did some compassionate release during the COVID, but it was like you said, it was for non-violent crimes, people who had like drug charges that was not considered a violent in the category of a violent crime. Then you talked about the 8505, 8507. So when everybody calls me and say, "Hey, Wolf, man, I want to do the 8505, 507," I say, "Do you know what that consists of?" And they're like, "Nah, I know you supposed to get evaluated." So I said, "So that's what you're asking the court. When you do a motion, it's called the mental health and hygiene motion, 8505. You requested the court to have a hearing so they can hear an argument that you should be evaluated based on some type of history of drug use. The judge gives you that evaluation. The evaluator evaluates you to determine whether you're amenable to some type of treatment. If they determine that you're amenable to some type of treatment, then the court has to bring you back and determine whether they're going to release you based on, they look at your institutional record, they review letters of support, and then a lot of people make that leap to the mental health hygiene stage, right? Now I'm about to break down a lot of things that we just discussed, Feed Dog, Lump, about what's available now. And that's why we say don't give up on your family members. I was once told when I was younger, the law changes every day. Right now, I'm about to break down all the things you had. Back in our day, Feet Dog, what was the only thing we had to go back on? What was it called?
Post-conviction or...
post-conviction.
We had two...
Feet Dog hit it on the note. Everybody kept saying post-conviction, post-conviction. That's all we had. Right. Now they got something called the Second Look Act that just passed. It just came in effect October the 1st. Now, for those who want to know what the Second Look is about, it's for those who did 20 years of their time or their sentence, whether it's life sentence, it doesn't matter. You can have 1,000 years. If you did 20 years of that sentence, the Second Look allows you to come back, have a judge review your conduct while you've been incarcerated. However, it doesn't apply to 3 groups of individuals. So that's what needs to be known. If you got LWOP, anybody know what LWOP means? Life without parole. That's LWOP. They took it out. They took out sexual assault charge. So if you got a rape, you excluded from the Second Look. The third one that they added in was if you have a charge of murder against an emergency responder. So do we know who emergency responders are?
Police, ambulance,
all those. If you got one of those charges, you're excluded.
Hold up,
right?
Wolf, can I ask you a question? Because you went a little fast. You said life without parole, but if you got life at 20, you got parole. Is it still eligible for you?
Yes. You eligible. Yes. Is this if you got life without parole, you're not eligible.
Okay. All right. Now I got it. I got it.
All right. Now we got that. Now we got the JRA. Anybody know what the JRA is?
No.
So the JRA passed. It's called the Juvenile Restoration Act. The Juvenile Restoration Act was passed 2 years ago in Annapolis, allowing anybody who was convicted of a charge under the age of 25, based on scientific research, that your brain analogy, that you was not in a full state of adulthood at that age between 25 and younger. So now all those individuals who fall under that guidelines can come back on a JRA and have their sentence reconsidered. Oh. Same process. Anybody got questions?
Yeah, Rah falls under that category. Under 25. Right. Under 25. So
I know Rah case. Rah hired Mark Gettimore years ago. You know what I'm saying? And didn't get the relief. He thought back then he was going to get some relief. But now Rah falls under that guidelines, where now he can go back and have his sentence review and be released. The JRA is being used widely now across Maryland for those individuals who were 25 and under when they committed their crimes, right? So you got the A505, A507, mental health and hygiene.
And that's
that's state. We got the Maryland Second Look Act. If you did 20 years of your time, you can go back and have your sentence reviewed. If you fall under those special circumstances and you don't have those 3 disqualifying charges, right? Now we got the JRA. So I just explained that. Now we got something called the time program. Anybody heard of the time program?
Oh my God. No.
So
I heard.
Hold on, you heard of it?
Yeah, I heard of it.
All right. So the time program is a program that the court. Yes.
Hold up 1 second. Tay.
Yes.
did you absorb everything that he was saying that we have at our disposal? This by you listening in. I know I want to know if our audience can grasp this. If you listening
Yeah, I
and
think so. I
you
think
taking,
if somebody, yeah, I think if someone has a loved one or knows someone that needs some help, they fight in cases or they having a hard time getting justice, this is very informative. The person is going to probably have to need to get information. What I think we need to do in the future is get something so we can run a ribbon during the program so they can know how to contact people to get help with stuff like this.
yes. Oh, we do
But
have
yes,
ribbons.
it's very informative. I'm listening. Like I said, they got my attention. I'm just listening.
Okay, all right, all right. I apologize, but I need to know for our
Nah,
audience the
nah.
mass.
She's on point because usually I will have they will run something at the bottom like it's running now, where it
Uh-huh.
said rest in peace, Reggie Curl. It would say contact the great injustice. You can
Hmm.
reach at da 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 da.
Right.
So I'm retired. Like I don't take no more cases. Let me say this before I finish. I don't take no
Uh-oh.
more cases. Yes, people been calling me. Wolf, I got the money. I don't care about the money. I'm finished. I got about 1,000 dudes out. I'm done with it.
So
Right.
Wolf, what are they going to do? What are they supposed to do for help?
So this is what I tell people because I teach people about their rights. So I actually have YouTube channels where I teach people
Okay.
about their Fourth, Fifth, and Sixth Amendment rights when they encounter law enforcement. I
Hmm.
teach them about the legislative process. I teach them
Okay,
about the
wonderful.
judicial process. I teach them. I got all these classes I teach. I've been doing it for the last 8 years. I
Okay.
even travel across the country to teach these citizens and individuals about their rights.
That's
So
wonderful.
what I
So could you
tell,
tell them the YouTube
thank you.
page? Can you let the people know you're welcome?
Yeah.
Your YouTube page?
So there's there's
Yeah.
there's there's a YouTube page you can go on called Knowing My Rights and Engaging in the Political Process. It's on YouTube. Knowing My Rights and Engaging in the Political Process. Then you can also go on to my YouTube page, A Felon Freed Me.
And
A
what's the name of
Felon
it? Is it
Freed Me.
Wolf?
That's a
Is there a
well,
page
yeah, you
named
can put
Wolf?
Tony Wolf. Yeah.
Tony
Nah, yeah,
Wolf.
it should say Tony Wolf. Yeah, everything's under Tony Wolf.
Okay.
Um,
Oh.
and you can go on under the YouTube as A Felon Freed Me. I discuss about the Brady. Tell it that people can go onto my TikTok page called The Great Injustice. On the TikTok page, I actually do segments of talking about post conviction, leave to appeal, federal habeas corpus 2254s. I explain it in short terms. I don't do 34. I do everything in maybe 5 to 7 minutes. So it catch people attention. I'll be very brief about it. The time
Oh.
program, yeah, the time program is a program where you have to get an attorney who will request for an evaluation. The time program will send one of their evaluators to evaluate you. Once they evaluate you, if they determine that you are suitable for their program, their evaluation will send a recommendation to your attorney. Your attorney then can file a motion for reconsideration or for the judge to send you to the program. All right,
Oh.
that's 4 things. There's another program in Baltimore called No Struggle, No Success. All right, same thing. An attorney has to send a letter request to No Struggle, No Success, ask that their client be evaluated. If the evaluation comes back suitable or recommend that they can be a part of the program, hey, you can get into the program if a judge release you. Now that's Baltimore City. Now down in Prince George's County, they have something called the court reentry program. So now the court reentry program runs a little bit different for those from out of PG County. So what happens in the court reentry program, you can make your own request. Once you make a request, they will evaluate and request all your documents from your institutional history. They will request your PSI. They will request your statement and indictment on your charges and look over that. Then they will do a interview with you first. They'll interview the individual who requested it. And after that, if they feel like they want to see if this person could be amendable, they're going to do what they call a home visit. So they're going to ask you, who are you going to live with when you come home? They don't want you to live with no girlfriends. They don't want you to live with nobody that is supposed to be somebody that you met while you was in. They wanted to be a family member who you have blood ties with. Somebody, they want you to be in a community where there's no violence and that's not connected to the charge that you're in there for. Once they do that, then they go what they call for a vote. So it's 9 people. They come from different areas of background. You got a police officer, you got a state's attorney, you got a judge, you got all these different individuals. Psychiatrists is 9 of them, and they will sit back and then they will make a vote on who wants this particular person to be accepted to the court reentry program in Prince George's County.
So
The
it's like
thing
a
about
board.
that is a board. Yes, it's a board. The thing about that is each individual who's going to cast a vote gets the same documents that each individual will have for them to review. So they make their own determination as to whether they feel that this person will be suitable for a program. Now, they have had guys who have actually been went all the way to the vote and was ready to come home, but then they said that after they went to go do the home visit was not suitable. It was
Oh,
they called it
damn.
they said it was an unsafe environment. So that
Damn.
person was sad because they made it all the way there, but then they said we was gonna vote him in, but the home environment was unsafe, so he didn't make it.
Dang. So do you get to go back again after time, or that's just it, a one and done?
Nah, that's what I like about with the 4 that I'm gonna mention. You can go back as many times as you want. There's no limitation.
Okay,
The
good.
A505, A507, as many
Yeah.
times as you want.
Okay, good. Cause
The
you okay.
What?
yeah,
I forgot.
the time program, as many times as you want. The no struggle, no success, how many times you want. The court reentry program in Prince George's County, how many times you want. It's just you can't come back until 6 months to a year later,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
On the JRA,
Look, I
yes,
forget. Let me say this before I forget. I've been. You gave us so much stuff that's informative, and it was a lot to take in. So you broke like 5 things down in 5 different programs. But I heard that you but we can't. If they go to your YouTube page, are you breaking this down slowly? Like, is it different segments? Because by you saying all this right now on this one segment, this is the hour segment. So if you're saying it one time right here, can they go and break it down from your page, from your YouTube page? Because
yeah.
uh,
Tell them
I
to tell them going to the YouTube. It's called The Great Injustice, and then they'll see all my segments. I got maybe like 30 segments on there where you'll see all me discussing. I break down case law. I break down Brady versus Maryland. I break down Miranda versus Arizona. I break down what is a post conviction, what is ineffective as a counsel, what's Strickland versus Washington. I break that all. And when we was in, everybody kept saying Strickland versus Washington, Strickland, but nobody knows there was a case that came out right after Strickland called United States versus Chronic that even made Strickland stronger, but nobody ever really even talked about Chronic.
And what
so
was that?
Right?
Hold on, hey Wolf, what was that case?
Chronic. Remember, Feet Dog was United States versus Chronic. It came out right after Strickland from the United States Supreme Court. Strickland only dealt with the 2 prongs. Remember, it was prejudice and
That's what I
deficiency.
used to get out. I used Strickland versus Washington to get out. That's what I
That's
gave my.
right.
I never knew
Because you
about
show prejudice. That's how you made out.
president and how did it affect me, and that's how I gave out an ineffective assistance counsel and
right.
how prejudiced me for getting that 95 years.
Oh, and
That's how I
Exactly.
got my time back. I gave the 95 years back on that case right there.
Right.
Exactly. Now, a feed dog, there was a case called United States versus Chronic that came right after Strickland versus Washington, but Chronic dealt with the adversarial processing test, meaning that if your lawyer didn't test the state's evidence, say like if the state brought in a witness and your lawyer never really questioned the witness, but later on you found out there was a statement that this witness made that was inconsistent with their trial testimony. So now you can show that your lawyer was ineffective on, like you said, on the prejudice prong that, hey, I was denied my right to an adversary process. My lawyer didn't even test the state evidence, and we had evidence that could have been cross-examined from the witness to show that they was uncredible.
Okay.
And so,
time out, Wolf. You know what? Let me say this. Now, we know the system is crooked too, Wolf. We know the system is crooked. I had my case. I had to bring my shit to the door. I had a tainted juror, and they know the fucking juror was tainted. I didn't get no justice. So we know that the court system is justice is corrupt as well. So we gotta say, how can we address that? That we can't look the blind eye that they want to smash us. They got different kind of deals. I understand what you're saying. We gotta have hope of getting out. But what about when the people's like me got shut down for I know I'm coming home because this shit wasn't right, and they get shut down.
All right. So I'm gonna tell you what I went through real short. When I was in the penitentiary, my lawyer was one of the most prominent attorneys in PG County. His name is Robert Bonsev. Robert Bonsev had forgot to give the jury some evidence that was admitted into my case, which was the photo array based on the judge's instructions. So he came back to court on my post-eviction and told the judge at my post-eviction that he was ineffective for failing to follow the court's instructions by making sure those photos went with the jury. I'm sitting there, everybody in the pen, like, damn, well, if you going home, Sam, your lawyer admitted to being ineffective. When I got my opinion back and they said denied, they said, although my counsel admitted to being ineffective, I didn't do what Feet Dog did. I didn't show how I was prejudiced by not having a photo raised. So when you argue these particular cases and things of that nature to the court, it all depends on what judge you got. It all depends on the atmosphere during that time, because if it's like a tough on crime situation, they're gonna be hard on you. You know what I'm saying? So you got to look at all those factors, Lump, because I swore I was going home during that time, Lump. I was like, man, I'm out of here. Man, I got denied. And the thing about it is, I remember Cookie Man. Cookie Man gave his time back. Feet Dog, you remember he gave that time back? He was all happy, and then they gave it back to him. The Court of Special Appeal.
Gave it back 2 times, and they gave it
twice.
Back to him.
And they gave it back to him, man. I remember me and Cookie was talking. Cookie said, yeah, well, man, I said, man, I'm happy for you, man. Then they came back. He said, man, they just overturned that joint and reversed it. I said, what? Man, they did it to him again. You know, and so you got it. I studied law so intensively. Like, I can tell you, it was a case I read years ago that said, whenever we as defendants argue a claim to a court, it's our job to show how we was prejudiced or how we was affected by that claim that we are trying to argue to the court. And I never forgot that. So most people think, oh, I got a Brady. I know Brady like the back of my hand. I could tell you probably every Brady case they had. But the thing is, most people don't understand that their courts may look to something else. Like, and I don't know if you ever seen it, where they'll say, okay, yeah, they should have allowed this witness to testify. Matter of fact, we gonna say his name, Feet Dog. You remember he got back on the alibi witness that didn't testify. He was in the pen.
In the pen?
The Griffin case.
All right. Hey, Wolf. All right. I don't know why people thinking and stuff right now, right? What we got to do is right. People is they they listening, but they people need to know that they got hope.
You looking at hope. Wolf out, I'm out, Avon out,
Yeah,
money out. We got people out here, man, that come out every day that got life. They've been
right.
in there, they getting out now. Right now is the time to file for anything, man. Try to get back in. Like for the feds, it's called the Second Chance Act. The state, like you say, no struggle, no success. 8505, 8507. But you gotta have time in to get the opportunities.
Opportunity.
You got to have some time, and you got to study, and you got to have the family.
And don't Fito, don't forget the adjustment record. That's what fucked me up.
Absolutely. You gotta have a good adjustment record. I think
Yeah. Go ahead.
these falls, with no struggle, no success, you can't have no tickets within 2 to 3 years or something. They say now. I'm not sure, but I think it's like 3 years you can't have a shot or a ticket. In the feds they call it a shot. In the state they call it a ticket. But you gotta have a clean adjustment record. Definitely.
Yeah, that's
The
not easy.
adjustment record, is that a behavior record?
Yeah,
Right.
and that's not easy
Why you
to
in?
maintain your sanity in the situation. That's why I understand they ain't gonna understand that you gotta have you can't it's almost impossible to have a clean adjustment record because you getting tested every day. Every day. Well, we getting tested every day. You might see somebody that did something to your family member when they coming in, and the system doesn't care about that. They put y'all together, knowing you on enemy list. It's documented. They still put you together to hurt one another. You feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm prime example. Yes. And then they look, you handle your business and they put you together again. So it's not easy having a clean adjustment record in serious situations, serious jails. I ain't gonna say all jails are the same, but it's all serious caliber men in all jails the same.
And you also got to know like your surroundings, what you into. But you can have an adjustment record long you're not running with the wrong crowd as far as gangs and stuff like that. But you just got to, stay to yourself and get in that law library, man.
How you can stay to yourself in the feds? I hear about this, Vito. Let's address this. How can you say you got to get in cars when you're in the feds? You even got to follow the line when you get in. You got to get in a certain car. This is what I hear. Not in the state system. You walking with. Look, I mostly didn't walk with our hood and people that I know in Baltimore. I really walked with DC dudes. I walk with solid DC dudes, and that's how I walked. I had my stamp, 15 stamp. I had 15 stamp. I had Norfolk Pulaski stamp, and I had Lexington Terrace stamp. So if I didn't have all these stamps, I think it was be hard for me because I was a civilian. I wasn't in anything. I was a civilian in the system, but I'm my own man. But
all right, so,
go ahead.
Man, you got Baltimore, DC, and Virginia. They call it the DMV car.
It's the DMV car?
What they call it, the DMV car. So Baltimore, DC, and Virginia rock together, right?
Okay.
So that's the car you in. Now, basically, long as you're not running up no bills, stealing, robbing, good. But the car get in something, everybody's supposed to rock together. But the car don't get in nothing, you good. Long as you're not running up no bills and this and that or whatever, doing those stupid stuff, you good. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, I've been in 2 different jails. We really ain't had to rock out with different cars in neither one of the jails. I stayed in one 4.5 and another one like 3.5 or 4 years, something like that. But I never got into anything. But my status was different. Like, everywhere I went, basically I had to tear because I was older, did time, niggas respected me. So I ain't really had to do nothing. And our job kept the pod on smooth ground. You know what I'm saying? Now, if we had young dudes getting into stuff, I would have somebody handle them, run them up, or whatever got to be done. If they wrong, if they right, we go with it. But if they wrong, wrong is wrong. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it is, man. It can be done, but you just gotta have a sound mind and run the car right, man. You know, don't go for anything.
All right. So,
It's
all right.
different. And like you say, in the state, all you got in the state is your homeboys or family members.
Right.
And if you got a whole different man, you got a whole car going with you. So if you jeopardize that car for something stupid, you're gonna get dealt with after we deal with whatever you got us into.
Right.
That's fast. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the dynamic. That's the difference.
Right.
That's the difference. We need to let that be known for the people, the youth that's coming in, that's getting that fed time. That this, because you get once you got them switches now, they taking you to the feds. You get caught with an automatic, you strictly going to the feds. Or if you down there with Wolf, they just federal bound off the break. Is I'm correct, Wolf? Is that still you go no
Yeah,
matter what?
yeah, they started that years ago, but a lot of people didn't know that they had something called, y'all remember something called the exile law?
Right. That was in Baltimore a long
That
time
was
ago.
in Baltimore, a long time ago. Then they, for every bullet that they found, they gave you a year for every bullet.
What? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. All right. This is more information that you need to know. The youth need to know. But when you go into these different state and feds, it's different. Well, I got a
This,
prominent man right here telling you how it's caused, and it's different from the state, from where I never been to the feds, but I'm telling you that you got to be your own individual in the state.
but look, I'm
Yeah,
gonna interject on your side because you gave up a scenario how you had a bona fide issue that should have required a reversal to get you home, right?
uh-huh.
So, well, I have a situation where I had issues that did get me home. So you had to look. The audience had to look at both sides. There's gonna be times where the family member or the loved one will be like, "Oh, I'm about to come home," and you go to the court, and the judge don't rule in your favor. Now, I done settled many post convictions, many motions for new trials, and I'm right now. I can't ever tell a person what's gonna happen in the courtroom because I done seen times where I felt that the guy was gonna get out, and the judge would say, "Well, I really believe this evidence should have been disclosed to the defense counsel, and they should have been able to utilize it, whatever." However, based on the other evidence showing that this person was guilty, I don't think it would have made a difference. So I'm a deny the motion. I be like, what? And then I look at a case where I say, oh man, they about to deny this joint. And that's it. No, the judge say, well, after looking at this case, I really believe that this defendant should have been given this chance and da. So I'm gonna reverse this case. And I'm like, they just had the evidence, the video camera, fingerprints, DNA, and everything. And that's why I say, man, the law is tricky. So that's why I say, when somebody asks me, I say, argue it effectively to the lawyer, to the judge, and wait, and hopefully the decision be in your favor.
Okay, that's realistic. That's reality. That's
And
what we can't just.
it's like you say, it's up to the judge and how tough the prosecutor is. Because, like he say, some judges look at a case and be like, yeah, the defendant deserved relief. Some might say, although this should have been overturned or whatever, I'm going to deny it.
Yeah, and I'm witness of the denial. Oh, what the fuck? Yes, and
I'm a
we
witness of the grant. They granted me relief. I went on my, some dudes might go on 2-3 post convictions. I went on my first one and got relief. I ain't had to
I
fight. I went there. They wanted to make a deal. Let's work out a deal.
shout out to Marcellus. I went to a reopen. I went to the reopen post conviction. You hear me,
Right.
Fidel? It's a reopen. It's called a reopen too. You know that, right?
One, right? He went. They denied, and then they reopened it.
Yeah, I got denied on everything. So, but I stand firm and look, man. I did my time and I made it out. You can make it out. Everybody thought I had life, no parole, and all that, because they was putting me in. They look, if you got a number, and then let's talk about the point system. Whoop, you got a number, and you have a number, a release date. They still, because of my history, they put me in where there's nothing but lifers and double lifers. People, we was around cannibals. Well, we was around people that eat people. I ain't joking. This is for real. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all understand what I'm saying? And I was like, how can I be around this situation and I got a number? Oh.
Yeah, I know you talking about the big white boy that ate all the bodies in Baltimore. I know you talking about. Yeah.
All right. So I'm saying that I was like, man, I'm around y'all individuals. People decapitating heads and all this. And I was like, damn, I got a number. Why y'all got me in this situation? How I supposed to man up?
Let me tell you why. We're gonna and this is what we're trying to get out to the youth now.
Yeah.
Because once you get that sentence from a court, the court has no jurisdiction over the Department of Public Safety and Corrections. They can send you wherever they want and do to you whatever you want if you allow it. Period.
What you mean allow? I ain't want to go certain way.
No, when I say allow that, listen, some people just different. Like Pete Dog said, he got respect. Everybody know I have respect. I didn't care about niggas that ain't like me. Everybody know it. You don't have to like me, nigga. I know how I'm carrying it anyway. But I went through some things that I learned, and I became cool with a lot of dudes, right? Out of Baltimore, right? I still talk to all the men, Marlowe, you know what I'm saying? That just came home. All them dudes, man. And the thing about it is, I never was a territorial dude. Everybody thought I was from Baltimore because I hung around number Baltimore cats. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But my whole thing is, when you get into that system, and we already know, and Feet Dog notice, if you show a sign of weakness, you done. You done with. And so you want them young men to know that you can't have no pistol in the joint.
Oh, no pistol. You can have knives though. You can have knives, but when you're in the cell, you gotta knuckle up. I mean, you gonna take some losses, you're gonna take some wins, but you gotta knuckle up.
Yeah, but and this you stand 10 toes down, do what you gotta do to survive in there, man. Like you said, you check them guns and at the door, man. It's all about the manhood and what you gonna do to get out of prison once you get into prison, man. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, Feet Dog. Hey, Feet Dog.
Hey.
I got the name. I want to say it before I forget again. It was Fairfield.
Oh, that's my man. He died. Yeah. He died once.
I didn't know he died. Yeah, you remember Fairfield kept going in, coming out. You know what I'm saying? So
that's how I got out though. Fairfield. He gave me the lawyer, Mark Gettimore. I used him.
Mark Gettimore. Oh my God.
And that's who got me out, man.
Who got you out? I can't co-sign. Mark Gettimore. He messed my parole thing up, man.
No, that joker got hot, man. He got hot back in 90s, man. Everybody started jumping on them. Boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom.
I jumped on him. Just get my parole. Step. Nope. All right.
Kept getting Fairfield out though. Him.
Mark, get
Yeah,
him.
so that's the case. So that's the case I was talking about, Big Dog, where he had the witness that didn't come. Remember, he was at home in his pajamas that night when the murder happened. Right. And his case is a publicized case where a lot of people use about alibi witnesses. His lawyer never called the alibi witness.
All right. So Wolf and Feet though, we're gonna break it down now. We told we dived in and we told her all the situations where it's though don't give up on your family. Don't give up on your family. There's still hope. No matter if you got life with parole, you still got hope. Even if you get turned down, you still could go up again, as Wolf said. You still could go up again. And then FIDA telling you that if you're in the feds, they got programs for you. If you got time and you got life, you still could come home. The feds is not what they make it out to be, because you still come home. Because that's the stereotype we have. Home, when you get with the feds, you done. That's the stereotype. Now, in my situation, I'm gonna say this. When I was like, when you get in the system, you gotta fend for yourself. Civilian, you gotta be man up. But I know people, young people, family members is coming in. They coming in. Fido, I want you to dress on this new. Before I left, they send you to these camps with the young generation. You going from a structured environment to a camp that is unruly. It's dangerous. It's worse dangerous because they're on drugs. They have no structure. They on K2. They on Bukes. This type of shit that going to send you back if you don't have a structured mind. I had to maneuver because you're trying to get home to your loved ones, but can you address the new epidemic, the K2, we're not trying to say this is reality. K2 and it's the new generation. They having episodes. How can you stay away from that if you got the car?
You got to have. Well, I mean, some people like in the feds, the K2 is a no-no. But you got people in there, the majority, not the majority, but I'm gonna say half, do it. Now, I had the car on the tiers that I was on. Dudes that smoke coke, K2, I don't deal with them. If you run up a bill, you on your own. Simple as that. And that's the bottom line, man. That was my rule. Now, certain people have different rules for with their tiers. My tier that I had, if you smoke that shit, you run it up, you make a bill, you gotta fend for yourself. Cause I don't run up no bills. I don't smoke it. I don't deal with it. I'm not taking no cell buddies to smoke it. They were my rules. If you smoke it, you ain't coming in my cell. Bottom line. If you run up a bill, you smoke that stuff, because it's tearing the system up, man. Yeah. Federal system, state system, that stuff is tearing it up, man. You know, they had these episodes, they get the jail locked down because people smoking it, and the feds is so messed up right now, man. They stay locked down for that stuff, man. People epping out. Like, where I just came from, which I was in Pennsylvania, in Allenwood, man, they had us locked down for over 2 months because a dude was smoking that shit, and the officer ran in the cell, and they fainted or whatever from the smoke from the broad passed out, man.
Yeah.
2 or 3 police is passed out because of that stuff, man. They had us locked down. They shook the whole jail down, took all our stuff. You know what I mean? If you had anything that was altered, they threw it away. Yeah. It just caused problems. So I had to tell You know what I mean? I try to keep them young dudes away from it, but you know, they think that's the best thing after smoking weed. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never tried it.
Yeah.
But it's hard, man. You
Yeah.
just got to turn
Yeah.
them guys away from it, man, and try to get them on top of that case. That's all.
So now, people did get released. That's an infant. It says on the package, not consumed for human consumption. It's an infant. It says it's not for human consumption, Wolf. You hear me? This the K2. They got Bizarro. I can name it Scooby Snacks and everything because I was watching this shit. I was like, oh my God, I had to just watch people have so many episodes, and I'm trying to come home and they in my bunk area shaking and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, this shit. And
hey, let me say this, right?
Yeah.
First one in the fans, right?
Yeah.
Went to West Virginia, Hazleton, and I don't know if y'all remember back in the 90s, they had some dope out there that was making people OD off of, right? Anyway, the guy they was calling China White then.
Yeah,
they
China White.
China White. Well, it was a lot of ODs back in the 90s about that, the early 90s. Well, anyway, one of the guys that was locked up for became my cellie. He was older than me, so he was like the OG of the tier. So he used to always say, man, we be getting locked down for episodes. At this time, I don't know nothing about no episode. I kept saying, man, what the hell is an episode? He was like, yo, you gonna see. So the first episode I seen from K2 was I watched a Joker jump off the top tier to the bottom tier, knock all his front teeth out. You understand? Get up. He tried to get up, he fall back down. He tried to get back up, he fall back down. Then he gets back up and run all the way around the tier, swinging on people till the police tackled him. That was my first time seeing the episode. The second time, I seen a Joker get butterball naked and run out the building. This from K2 smoking this stuff, man.
Right. Before you came home, have you witnessed some episodes before you came home?
No, I didn't witness or episodes, but I did see the K2 becoming rampant because I was coming on around 2009, so that's when it was really coming into play. Yeah.
You've been home since that long?
Yeah, I was like 15 years. I've been home.
God damn! What I didn't think you out. All I know is you shoot them.
Every time I talk to somebody, they say it feel like I just came home because everybody like somebody else like you just left. So I'll be like, because y'all in a stop mode, y'all still in themselves stop. I said we all here moving.
God damn, man! I appreciate y'all brothers coming on it today, man. And I really enjoyed this because it felt like this is what I'm niched to do, Wolf. This is one of my programs. I got different ones under my umbrella, but I really like this baby because we inform the youth. We inform the people that's coming home from where we come from for all these years. We informing them to stay narrow like we doing. I hopefully Feet Dog's gonna do the same thing when the fuck we doing. It's a hard
look. I'm gonna say this to you. I'm gonna say this to you and your partner, right?
Yeah.
If y'all ever want me to come doing the knowing your rights for the kids, just let me know and I'll come do one of the classes for them.
Oh, definitely, because that's Hollywood. That's Hollywood. You've been around them. It's Hollywood and Lakim. We got a group called Hill. That's Hollywood. It's up. Guess where is that? Feet Dog? Pimlico Racetrack. We got a building inside the racetrack that we bring the youth and not just the youth, the adults. If you need help or anything, come to this Pimlico Racetrack. Which zone is that, Playboy? I need you to holler it out.
15, baby boy.
21215 Wolf, and that's when Wolf came home. When he first came home, that's where he was at. Beat up.
Wait,
21215.
I hear you. I hear you.
We representing Shorty, but man, I enjoyed y'all tonight, man. Let me get my shout outs, man. I need y'all to say rest in peace to my fallen soldier, man. We're not gonna let his name be lost. Reggie Curl, man, look, this is a celebrity, Feet Dug and Wolf, that he was on tour with Cat Williams. He got slain on tour with Cat.
About that, man. I just heard
Yeah.
about it a couple days ago. Somebody tell me about that, man.
Yeah, well, that's my co-host, Feet Dug. If you go back and look at
somebody made a joke about somebody or something, and somebody shot him.
No, we to this day we don't have anything to know what actually happened. No investigation came out. Nothing was said. All they did was exonerated Cat Williams because Cat Williams. We don't know nothing else. We know that the person who shot him was on the fucking the tour as a security guard. This the one that shot Reggie Curl 5 times with a shotgun. Yeah, 5 times with a shotgun. But we don't know why Reggie Curl was provoked because he was aggressive. On cameras, they showing all negative stuff for our mom. But you know he's from Baltimore. So we aggressive. But we aggressive when we provoked, not just going around starting bullying stuff. So that's not the subject for today, but I have to address this because this is my co-host. You see this name right here? It say Reggie Curl. Look at Reggie Curl. This is what I was talking about going to the next level because he had our back. Now, how can somebody have my back and I don't represent? That's not going to work in the system. That's not going to work nowhere if that's nigga walking with me. He's walking with me. You feel me, Tony Wood and P-Dub? This nigga walking with me. And I need closure, but I can't be a crash dummy because I got to keep his memory alive. And it didn't happen in Baltimore. We would have street justice because niggas going to tell me what the fuck happened to my man. But I don't know. But look.
Allegedly, no street justice. Allegedly, it would have been.
Allegedly, no street. I can't do street justice. I already know. You already know I ain't crashed.
Allegedly.
I feel it.
She sound like she went to my legal class already. I appreciate it.
Hey, I don't play.
What you supposed to say? Objection. Yeah, sweet. He's supposed to say, hold up, shorty, time out. All right, because she did. All right, but anyway, I thank y'all for coming. Breaker 19 is the handle, and that's when I say Breaker 19. If y'all watch the podcast, that means we're done. Do you want to shout out anything or anybody? Let's start with Feet Dub. If you want to shout out anybody, represent anybody before this segment ends, give your shout outs and give everybody their props.
Man, I want to shout out all the dudes that's down, man. Corey Fox, Lord Thinking, Cookman, Gross, everybody that's still in, man. We trying to get them guys out of here, man. You know what I mean? Get them back out here into society and get them back and out here to work and do the right thing, man. And everybody is 10 toes down.
Yeah. Your turn, Wolf.
All right, I'm going to give my props to some unusual suspects. I want to give my props out to a former state's attorney down in PG County named Breonna Ford, who was fighting for those who were trying to get home, who she helped a lot of individuals do that. I want to give a shout out to Ms. Nancy Foster. I want to give a shout out to Mark Howard, Professor Mark Howard from Georgetown University Law School. I want to get a shout out to Becky Feldman, These shout outs are to individuals who are part of the criminal justice system who were helping us in our cause for freedom. So I definitely want to give a shout out to them.
Boom, boom, and what? Nancy Foster. That's who Amber is under. You feel me? You just hit it, and I think I talked to you. And Nancy Foster, Amber was under her. Bam.
Okay.
You did,
okay.
You did. All right. So now you already told me how to holler for another that is incarcerated. So you just hit. That's Nancy Foster. That's who it was. All right. So what I want to say is, man, Fidel, you made me feel bad. You put my man, because I ain't never been, I really ain't never give shout out to Cookie Man. That also was one of my little walking buddies in there, because we come from JD Gross. You know, he from Woodland, but I come from the top. Same as you, Fidel, but we still was going down the bottom. And I dealt with Butt and Cookie Man, and I need to say shout outs to them too. And you slid me because I wasn't. You threw some names out there, motherfucker. But shout out y'all.
Down, man. That's all.
Yeah. Breaker 19, breaker 119.